Yes, I think throughout this vlog we've done, what, 7 CEX lotteries. I've added a lot of 16-bit goodness and Nintendo cardboard to my collection, and anytime I can do that, I'm a very happy man. Retro Ghetto. Hi everybody, welcome to this week's vlog. We are making a super late start on the vlog this week because I've not been well. I've been ill. Actually, the illest I've been in a few years, to be honest. I had what they think was gastric flu. Yeah, it wasn't pleasant, and it knocked me out for 3 days. Today's the first day that I've sort of thought, right, I'm gonna be okay today. You know, and you have to lie to yourself to get yourself out of that rut. So yeah, I'm jumping in front of the camera today. To be honest, it's an absolute miracle that I got a video out on Wednesday, the tips for charity shop hunting video. Just to quickly explain that, I filmed it as I started to feel unwell. So yeah, it was a bit of a challenge, I'm not gonna lie, filming it. There was a lot of cuts and retakes because I didn't feel well, but at the time I thought it was just man flu. I just thought, man up, get on with it. The usual things that us men aren't very good at doing when we've got a bit of a cough and cold, right? And then it quickly deteriorated after I filmed it, and I'd sort of accepted that I wouldn't be getting a video out on Wednesday, and I didn't think at that time there'd be a vlog that you're watching now on Sunday. But basically what happened over the next couple of days was, you know what it's like when you can't sleep. I didn't know what to do with myself. You know, it gets to like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, you're just lying there feeling sorry for yourself. So I just started editing, just to try and pass the time, to try and take my mind off how I was feeling. And before I knew it, the video was pretty much edited, and it was edited ahead of time, so I was able to upload it. And yeah, somehow, thankfully, I was able to stick to the schedule. This is like the 10th week now, I think, of 2023, and I've been able to maintain the 2 videos a week schedule. And yeah, thankfully, even through the illness, I've been able to stick to that schedule. So I'm really happy about that, quite proud of getting that video out. So hopefully you guys watched it, hopefully you enjoyed it. But all that being said, there's loads still to be getting on with this week. Now, obviously, I haven't done any charity shop hunting as such this week. I've not left the house yet. I'm hoping to do so tomorrow. I do have plans to go out and do some hunting on this vlog. There's a couple of areas I've never hit up before in terms of charity shops, so I'm excited about that. And also I've got to go to CEX because I've got all that stuff we found last week to trade in, and we'll also be hitting up the usual local charity shops and see what CEX has in store. But I have had a few things arrive from Amazon and eBay, and there was actually one find. I went to one charity shop. I think I went to a charity shop on the back end of last week. It might have been Saturday. It was sometime after I'd filmed for the vlog. I did actually manage to find one thing, and spin the camera around. So I've got 2 nice retro CEX lotteries to do, which we'll get to in a minute. But as I say, I did go to one charity shop and I did have a couple of finds, so we'll quickly go through that. I picked up these, in my opinion, the best Oasis albums, the first 2 albums. Grew up listening to this era of Oasis, and I thought these were really interesting because they're like 3-disc versions of the albums. They're like special versions that come with, you know, all sorts in here. They've got like B-sides and samples and live performances on, and I mean, for £1 each, I just thought they were nice to pick up. I wasn't going to leave them behind. So that was my only charity shop hunt of the week so far. And then we have an Amazon purchase. I saw this mentioned on a group. This is the 30th anniversary Mortal Kombat bundle. And what this is Mortal Kombat 11 and the movie put together in one steelbook. I'm going to try and rip this open for you guys now, which might be quite difficult with one hand, but let's see how we get on. Okay, so here it is. I'm seeing this for the first time as you guys are. I've managed to get the shrink wrap off. And this is, again, trying to do it with one hand, a really nice looking steelbook. And inside it comes with, as I say, both the game and the movie. This is £18 on Amazon. I'll try and put the link in the description if anyone's interested. I just think this is really nice, and it's very strange that I've never played Mortal Kombat 11. I've spoken many times on this channel before. I do struggle with fighters because I'm such a Street Fighter guy that I struggle to go from one fighter to another because I end up trying to play them like Street Fighter. But it's definitely a game I've always intended to play. I actually own both the busts. I own the Scorpion and the Sub-Zero bust from the collector's editions of the game, and yeah, I'm glad I waited, to be honest, because I love this. I think it's a really nice steelbook. It's a nice like niche piece to have this version of it. Probably won't sell too many, so it might be somewhat uncommon in the future because I'm guessing most people have already played the game, and the movie wasn't great, to be honest. I went to the cinema to see it, and if you want to watch a Mortal Kombat movie, I'd watch the animated versions. The recent animated Mortal Kombat movies are really good, but that one, not so much. So yeah, that was my Amazon purchase. Before I jump into the CEX lotteries, I just want to quickly talk about last week's game that we bought, Asterix. I did decide to keep it. I've cleaned it up a bit. I'm quite happy with that. Cleaned it up, put it in a box protector. Haven't, as of yet, found a manual. But I did do a lot of research online, and for the price I paid for this, especially once you break it down in CEX vouchers, it makes sense for me to keep it. I'll probably be able to pick up either a complete version or a manual at some point down the road and still pretty much get my money back for this one. So yeah, happy to have it. It was one of them last few games that I've got real childhood memories of that I didn't already own. So yeah, really looking forward to playing this, and hopefully I'll get this popped into the SNES over the next couple of days and sit down and relive my youth. Right, well, what we're going to do now is I'm going to get comfy, I'm going to sit down, and we're going to get into these 2 CEX lotteries. But before we get into this, there is one more thing I want to show you that's just arrived, literally just arrived. So, a few days ago, somebody sent me a screenshot on Facebook of somebody that was selling something, and they thought I'd be interested in buying it for Retro Ghetto Junior, and I 100% was. I immediately sourced the name on the screenshot, messaged the person, said, is this still for sale? However, Louise, which is the lady which kindly sent me the message originally, said that she wanted to purchase it. She wouldn't take no for an answer. She wouldn't take any money. She wanted to thank me for the content I've been putting out, and she wanted to sort of purchase it for Little Man on my behalf, which I'm very thankful for. I was going to buy it for him anyway. I'd already messaged the person, but obviously it was very kind of Louise, so I want to give you a massive thank you for doing so. It is much appreciated. And here it is. So this is a God of War single duvet and pillowcase set. Now the plan is I'm going to get this all put on his bed. He's at school currently. So I'm going to get all this set up for him for when he comes home. I'm going to surprise him. And Louise, I can't thank you enough. This has come at an absolutely perfect time. Obviously with me being ill for the last few days, I haven't spent as much time with him as I would have liked. I've not been able to play with him as much. And, you know, kids don't really understand, do they? So this is going to be a really nice surprise for him. Not only am I going to be feeling a lot better by the time he comes home from school, but he's going to have his God of War duvet set on the bed. So I'll try and film that and capture his reaction, because he's going to be made up. And yeah, I'm made up, to be honest. I've got a massive smile on my face now just thinking about it. So once again, Louise, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And hopefully in this vlog, we'll be seeing his reaction to this a little bit later on. And to be honest, I wish there was a king size one. It might take some convincing of the missus, but I'd be well happy with that. Okay, so it's CEX lottery time. I've got 2 packages now. These are both retro goodness. These are both 16-bit, my favourite genre to collect for. I'm really excited about what's inside these boxes, and obviously apprehensive with it being CEX, because, I mean, you just never know what you're going to get, right? This one arrived first, so I think I know what this is. And I think this is a £45 game, but I think that's very much underpriced. I think it's a lot more expensive on eBay. Should it be complete? There's quite a lot of copies of this game floating around that are incomplete and don't have the manual for some reason, which I don't know why that happens to certain games, but collectors will know that there are certain games that for some reason just rarely come with a manual. It's one I've had my own for a while, so let's just get into it. This time it does have the pull tab available to us. Always adds to the drama, right? Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the receipt. What does it say? Yeah, £45.50. £45, sorry. And it's got that kind of packaging where it's just like cling film connected to the box, so there's no wrapping. It's here, it's exposed. So yeah, there's not really much for me to do other than to pull it out and show you. And that is Zero Wing. So Zero Wing was originally a 1989 arcade game released on the Mega Drive in 1992. Side-scrolling shooter developed by Toaplan. It's most famous for the saying, "all your base all belong to us." So obviously poor translation of English, which kind of went on to become a bit of a meme. But as I say, this game online is selling for more than £45. I think the last one sold for £55, but there are some more examples of it having sold for significantly more than that. There's currently 7 in stock at CEX, but as I say, looking at eBay, there's not many that have the manual. Being that this game has cost me £45, this is one that if it doesn't have the manual, it will be going back. I kind of have this cut off with games, and especially Mega Drive games. I have less tolerance with Mega Drive games than I do with Super Nintendo for some reason. Maybe it's the cardboard factor, I don't know. Let's look at the box anyway before we open it. It's not too bad. I mean, I don't really care about Mega Drive boxes. I mean, you can see that it's had the pull tab pulled off, but again, I'm not really bothered because I've got rubbishy Mega Drive sports games that I can just swap this out for. The sleeve itself, it's not immaculate, but it's okay. There's a slight little bit of waving to it, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, that's fine. Once I put it in a nicer box, this will be fine. So it all rests really on whether there's a manual or not. If this is a good condition cartridge with a manual, I'm very happy with this. And there you go, just to see the spine. Right, I'll let you guys see it first. Yes! Oh, not only is it a manual, it's a nice condition manual. We've won on this particular CEX lottery. This is just slightly crunched up here where it gets shoved in that little tooth in the Mega Drive box. But yeah, really happy with that. I mean, guys, I'll probably show you some eBay examples, but £45 is probably about what it would go for without the manual, looking online. Yeah, the part seems to be fine, which they usually are, to be fair. Really happy with that. I was quite worried that this wouldn't come with a manual, to be honest. Yeah, just another schmuck for my 16-bit collection. You guys know I'm loving my schmucks, right? I've now got my tate and everything set up, and hopefully I'll be able to show you some more examples of my gaming now. I've got this new setup this week. Now I'm feeling better. You know you're ill where you can't even do any gaming, right? So yeah, I've got lots of gaming to catch up on as well, which hopefully we'll see on this vlog. But yeah, really happy with that. So that's 1 out of 1. Let's see what the next one brings. So yeah, we've got the pull tab available to us again. Right here. Oh, it's so anticlimactic. There we go. Okay, so this one's more traditionally packed. It looks like it's rammed full of void fill. And just to let you guys know, this is under here. We've got Nintendo cardboard. So yes, it's Super Nintendo. It's a game that I've had saved for a little bit of while on my CEX save searches. It finally came through, and I purchased it. I'm trying to remember how much this game was. I think there's a slip in here before I see the game. Yeah. Check the price. So this was £35. So again, not a cheap game. So if the condition's not good and there's no manual, it probably will be going back, but let's take a look. Okay, first thoughts are quite positive. That is Animaniacs. I'm doing it like this so I can't feel the weight. I don't want to give it away as to whether there's a manual or not. Animaniacs, as you can see, the box does not look too bad at all. It feels heavy. It feels heavy. Right, let's look at the box. So it's obviously a bit crushed, as you can see, like this bit's been poking out a bit. That's irrelevant because I'm going to put it in a protector. Bit of damage on the corner there, but generally speaking, there's the worst of it in that corner, look. There. But you know what, guys, this meets my sort of expectations. You guys know I'm not a mint collector. For me, you know, these are old games. This is a 1994 game. Clean it up, put it in a box protector. Going through the CEX voucher scheme, this game cost me pretty much nothing. You guys see what I do at charity shops, especially if you watched Wednesday's video. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's hope there's a manual. If there's a manual in here, this is definitely a keeper. I don't think there's a manual.
Oh God! No! God, please, no! No! No!
It really felt like there was. No. That's really disappointing. Okay, so now it looks like we've got another decision to make. I don't know, I think it's these sort of, I think these are like repro style inlays, and they've got like quite a thick card piece here, and I think that adds to the weight, which makes it seem heavier than it normally would be. I mean, the cartridge is fine. Yeah, definitely have a decision to make on this one. I like to sort of weigh up the options when it comes to making decisions on keeping games that don't have manuals from CEX. So I see if there's a manual available online, I see what prices they're selling for within that manual, see how readily available they are. So I'll probably let you guys know later on in the vlog what I've decided to do with this. But 1 out of 2 is definitely a win, and I'll get back to you guys later in the week as to what I've decided to do with the set. Okay, so I've got a little man's bed all set up, complete with his teddies that he sleeps with anyway. Well, he's going to be so happy with this. Bless him. Okay, so I've just finished my 4th game of the year, which was, let me just turn the sound down, Rhyme on the Nintendo Switch. And yeah, it was deep. You spend sort of 90% of the game not really sure what's going on, and then when you find out what's going on, yeah, allergies, man. It's a very emotive game, which suits the sort of game design, the way it's sort of very music driven. And yeah, I won't spoil the ending, so obviously if anyone wants to play it, I mean, listen, Nintendo Switch is probably not the best way to play this game. I think it does suffer with it being on the Switch. You're probably better off playing it on another console, but I paid £15 for it. It's more than playable. I enjoyed my time with it, but yeah, that's it's not exactly a feel-good ending, let's put it that way. But yeah, nice puzzle platform game. The thing is with me, sometimes when I know a game's short, I kind of fool myself into thinking it's shorter than it is. And I think for probably half of the game, I kept thinking, it's going to end in a minute, it's going to end in a minute. And then it took a lot longer than I initially thought to actually end. But yeah, well worth a playthrough, this one. Probably took me about 6 hours or so. Yeah, I'm sort of getting over the ending, shall we say. So I've not got too much more to say about it. Only that I'm kind of glad I finished it, because I've bought so many Switch games, as you guys know, and I'm ready to move on and play something else. And I'm probably going to play Owlboy next. But yeah, 4th game of the year in the bag. I would recommend it. Are you ready to see your surprise?
Yes.
Open your eyes. What is it? Who's that? Yes.
And Mamiya.
Mamiya, I don't think Mamiya's on it. It's good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Daddy wants it.
No, I haven't. It won't fit on your bed. You'll have to buy a bigger size one.
Oh, we'll have to buy a bigger size one. What do you think, Mummy?
No, thank you.
We'll keep trying. Boy! Okay, so I've decided that my next game is going to be Owlboy. Trying out a new position. Now I've got my new TV set up. I can lie down across the sofa with this on. Got football on there. I'm so happy that I made this decision with the TVs. It's so versatile. I can do so many different things with it, different positions, and yeah, I'm looking forward to starting this game. Let's go. Okay, so I'm having a long overdue evening gaming. I've just finished playing Owlboy. I'm enjoying it. The first hour I wasn't so sure, but it's not what I expected. It's a bit slower paced and it's quite difficult. But now I sort of understand what the game is, and I've got used to the controls, because the controls do take some getting used to. I'm really enjoying it. I think I've got quite far into it. It says online it'll take 8 hours to complete, so I'll definitely be finishing Owlboy. But I wanted to give Sniper Elite 3, I think this is. This is a game that I picked up on last week's charity shop hunts. I just wanted to give it a go. I've not really played a Sniper Elite game, not for a long time anyway. And I just wanted to give this one a try before I traded it in, and just see really if I'm going to want to play it enough to finish it. So I've just started this. I'll let you guys know what I think of it once I put a bit more time into it.
Retro Ghetto.
Hi guys, it's a new day and this is actually the second time I've been in here recording. I came in here this morning saying how I was going to be going here, there and everywhere else, doing some game hunting, and I was really excited, but before that I had to nip into my local town. I had to take little one to school, I had to go to the chemist, and whilst I was there I had a big bag of stuff to take to CEX. That's as far as I got. I'm not going to lie, this illness probably hit me a little bit more than I thought it had. I thought I was okay, and then once I was out and about, yeah, I just started feeling rough again. So it didn't happen, so I don't think there's going to be much game hunting on this vlog, but it does mean that we've now got that hunt that I had planned to do put aside for next week. So yeah, hopefully next week's vlog will get this this charity shop hunt out. There's a couple of areas that I've mapped out that I've never been to before, so I'm quite excited about doing it. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get it done next week. I did take my stuff into CEX, and whilst I was there was one thing that caught my eye, and that was this Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Atlas Limited Edition. This is selling for about 15 quid or so on eBay. It just comes with like the booklet and steelbook. I mean, for £4 I wasn't going to leave it behind. And I do quite enjoy playing the solo campaigns. I'm actually overdue to play one. I'm not a big fan of the online Call of Duty, but I do enjoy playing the campaigns every now and again. So yeah, that's as much as I picked up on the, well, I don't think you can call it a hunt really. I felt that rough. I felt that rough while I was out. I didn't even go to all the charity shops. So yeah, you know that I'm ill, right, if I don't go to all the charity shops that are in my local area. But I'm going to rest up for the rest of the day. I'm going to probably watch the Mandalorian box set. And I was thinking to myself, like, maybe I won't put this vlog out this week, but that's what these vlogs are. These are ghetto vlogs. And it's basically just vlogging my life and a week in my life. So I'll be true to that. I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Hopefully I'll be feeling better after a bit more of a rest, and there are still a few things that I want to do here within this room, so hopefully we'll get to that in this vlog as well. But yeah, I'm going to rest up, watch the new season of Mandalorian, and hopefully feel a bit better later on. One thing I did forget to mention during my brief trip to CEX was this. So the God of War Collection Volume 2 has become very expensive. One of my very early games to invest in videos, I did advise you guys pick this up. I think it was about 30 quid at the time. It's now 70, so hopefully some of you guys took my advice. But I've got the Essentials version, which never really bothered me. I quite like the red spine on the PS3 ones. I don't like the Xbox 360 Classics. I don't overly like the Platinum PlayStation 1 games. I don't mind them too much, but I don't like the mix and match, do you know what I mean? I'd rather have one or the other. But yeah, I don't mind the red spines. I actually think they look quite good, and at one point I looked into maybe getting the full set of those, but there's a lot of them. Anyway, so I was talking to the staff there, and they had God of War Collection Volume 1 bought in, but it had the Volume 2 sleeve. So what they had to do was throw this away, and sadly they had to do the reprinted cover of the God of War Volume 1 collection, which meant this was just going to get discarded. So asked me if I wanted it, and I said hell yeah I do. Like I say, this has become like a £70 game at CEX. It might even be more than that now actually, and I don't know what it's selling for on eBay. It will still of course have the Essentials disc, but it doesn't bother me. I'm not selling it, it's for my own collection. And what I might even end up doing at some point is double dipping, and if I can pick up a cheap disc or something down the line, have a version of both, because obviously I'm a God of War collector. But yeah, it's just nice to be able to add that for free, especially with a game that has become so sought after and so expensive. Had this arrive in the post today. Now guys, if you like hip hop, you like reggaeton, anything like that, make sure you're checking out Collie Buddz. This was his debut album. I absolutely love this album. He's a white Bermudan reggae artist, which is not necessarily a sentence you associate with top tier reggae, but this album honestly is fantastic. I gave up hope of finding this in a charity shop, and I had to take to Music Magpie, because this has become quite an expensive CD to buy. But yeah, if you're into that kind of music, check this out. Equally, if you've heard this album before, let me know in the comments. Well, I really enjoyed that episode of Mandalorian, but I got a bit too comfy. I thought the whole season was available. They're obviously doing one episode at a time, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I watched the catch-up prior, because I forgot what happened in the first couple of seasons. I watched a really good catch-up on YouTube. I'll post a link below if anyone's interested. But yeah, I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but The Mandalorian is, yeah, it's fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Guess there's nothing left to do now then, but play some games. You're getting him, aren't you?
Come on, buddy. Come on. Ha.
Get him then.
I'm trying to. You won't move forward. Yeah.
Retro Ghetto.
Okay, so one of the downsides of being a video game collector is how quickly the games pile up that I need to add to my shelves. Now, obviously that's a good thing, but because I'm trying to keep my games neat and tidy and I'm trying to keep them in alphabetical order, it is a real headache adding that many games to the shelves. But looking at the size of that pile, it's time, so we're gonna have to play my favourite game, the old video game room Tetris. Let's go. Hopefully we're getting off to an easy start with a newly acquired Zero Wing. With it being a Z, it's just going to slot straight in after WrestleMania. These multicoloured ones I've got separate, and then I've obviously got my blue spine separate to that. But all I'm going to have to do is push these over, slot Zero Wing in, and that's one game done. However many that is left to go. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. Nintendo Wii. So as you can see, Wii has just started to encroach onto the GameCube section. So I've got 3 Wii games down here. So none of them are going to be this far down the alphabet. So the easiest way to do this is going to be to take 3 games here. I don't know why I've got 2 copies of Wii Sports Resort. There you go. So now I've created enough gap there. So what I'm now going to do is just move this whole section along, add these 3 into this section, and then I can alphabetize the new ones over here. Okay, so I've moved the GameCube games ready, and of course it wasn't that easy because of this, which I just had to buy, didn't I? Even though apparently it's the worst game ever made. It's on this small section here, so I'm gonna have to take out one of these games, probably Death Jr. That one now slip in there, which means that Anubis could go in there. And if anyone wonders, these bits here that are slightly hidden, they're like duplicates or the worst of the worst. You know, if I've got some games sealed that I just can't let go of, so like Zumba and rubbish like that, I just kind of put them down there so they're out of the way, because otherwise the games would fall over. So those are the games that are hidden. There's games everywhere in this room. But now I can get Anubis and Bully in that gap, I believe, and then we can get the other 2 games put in here. Okay, with PS3 now done, that takes us on to the biggest challenge thus far, which is 360. I've got by far the most amount of games that I need to add on that system. And yeah, whilst I've only recently moved the game room around, I'm going to quickly run out of room, so I'm probably going to end up having to move the Saints Row Collector's Edition, and then the games will all fit along here. But yeah, let's get it done. Which reminds me, I'm going to be doing the announcement of the giveaway for the Xbox 360 games, the 10 games that I've been asking you guys to enter the competition for. I'll be doing that on this vlog very shortly. I've actually decided to make it 11 games. I had a spare copy of Grand Theft Auto 5. CEX wouldn't take this, I said it was too scratched. I think it'll work, but either way it's free. So it's now 11 games. I'll be announcing the winner shortly after I've got the room sorted out. Okay, so that's Xbox 360 finally done. Saints Row's just been put there as a temporary measure for now. I ended up moving the big boxes around, so Alan Wake went down there and a few of the other collector's editions, just to make a bit more room. I've freed up a bit of space now for any more sleeve covers or steel books that should come. But yeah, the Xbox 360 collection is definitely taking up some space. And we're running out of space for PS3, but they're all problems for another day. I mistakenly thought Xbox 360 was going to be the most difficult to do, certainly the most time consuming given the amount of games. However, PS2. Now PS2 games fit exactly on these shelves. And I've got 5 games to add, and they're nice games as well, they're nice titles. All of which deserve a place on the PS2 shelf, but I really don't know what I'm going to do. There's nowhere seemingly to naturally expand to. So yeah, I'll scratch my head for a bit. Okay, so I cheated a bit and I moved my Switch games up and I popped the new PS2 in that section there. The reason being is I still haven't completed my trunking shelf hack and everything yet. I've done this side of the room, but I still need to do this side of the room, and to be honest, I can't be bothered to alphabetize all these PS2 games, fit these in and keep messing about with them until I've done the trunking hack, because you push about 3 in every time you go to move one, and I'll be honest, I've run out of patience. So they're going to sit there until the next move around, and then we'll think of a better solution. That means I've got no space for Mario. There's all these toys that have been amassed along the way that have been moved along the shelves and bumped off, so to speak. So yeah, the room's a mess. It's covered in CEX stickers and other rubbish from cleaning up all these games. This is the thing about owning a games room, guys. It's upkeep, it's work. It's taken me a couple of hours just to get games on the shelves. Yeah, it's a nicer problem to have, of course, but I'm glad it's done. Now I'm going to have a big tidy up, get this room looking nice and clean and fresh. Oh, guys, I'm having the game of my life on Andro Dunos 2. I've just finished the 7th level. I've never got past the 6th before this. This is all uncharted territory. But guys, when you're playing shmups and you're locked in, right? I'm locked in right now. Gotta go. Guys, I died shortly after last recording, but as you can see, I smashed my previous best. I think I got to the final boss. I did 7 stages, and then it looked like a boss fight, but I was ill prepared. It's one of them games where as you beat a level, you get to play that level in like a stage select. So I'm hoping that I can go back and practice the boss, because yeah, I'm getting closer to finishing this game. What a game it is.
Retro Ghetto.
Okay guys, it's a new day in the Retro Ghetto, and the postman has been. That's right, we've got what, 5 CEX lotteries to get into today. Really looking forward to getting these open. I've got a lot to say and show you guys with regards to this stuff. But before that, yes, the question box of mystery is out. It can only mean one thing. It's time to do the draw for the winner of the now 11 Xbox 360 games. Guys, there's so many people that entered over 2 videos, because I sort of promoted this on 2 videos, and yeah, which is great. Obviously that's what you do it for. You want as many people as possible to get involved, but wow, I think next time I do a competition, I'll be doing it sort of based on best comment, where I just pick one, because it takes a long time to collate this many entries, get them all written down, get them put in here. But yeah, I think next time I'll be picking the best comment or something like that, because I just do not have the time to keep doing this. But that being said, I appreciate everybody that's taken the time. Hopefully this is the start of a nice collection for somebody. But okay, the only thing left to do is to pick one. I don't know why I've decided to do it with my left hand. I'm far from ambidextrous. But lucky lefty for the winner, Dave Chungus. Dave, congratulations. You have won this now 11 Xbox 360 games, mate. Just simply drop me a message, preferably on Instagram, if you're watching this. If not, I will reply to your original winning comment. Nice one, Dave. Right, let's get into this. I'm excited to see what CEX have bought me. Okay, so we're all set up. I'm now going to unbox these 5 items that have had arrived this morning. First thing that I want to say is just bear with me. If I'm opening these and you start thinking to yourself, this isn't like him to be buying this kind of thing, there's method to the madness. Once I've unboxed this, I've got a further thing to show you, and it should sort of all come together and make sense. So let's kick it off with this one. They never seem to pull in one, do they? Okay, so obviously I'm going to have to be careful not to show you guys the receipt and addresses, so I'm going to have a quick look in first. Okay, so all I've done is taken out the invoice. Let's see what's in this. It's like a hedgehog. Let's have a look. Wow, past the parcel. Okay, we've got Mario is missing. Looks in decent condition. Like I said, guys, bear with me. So we're gonna pop that there. Next. There's no invoice in this one, so I ain't got to worry about that. We can already see what it is. Nice one to put it in these. I'll keep that for future use. Super James Pond. Got a bit of a scratch on it, but that's nothing that I'll wipe off. Bit of a mark on the sticker itself there, but I'm not too worried about that. Okay. Next is eBay. Now, the reason I got this one from eBay is because this was less than half the price that it cost me to buy this on CEX. So even though I would have been using vouchers on CEX, I'm not going to use twice as many vouchers. I'd rather spend the pounds, especially when it's quite a low pound game anyway. I will be putting up the information as I'm opening these as to how much I paid. That is Game Boy. Will it focus? Game and Watch Gallery. This, I believe, is £18 at CEX. It would have cost 20, and I think I got this on eBay for less than a tenner posted. So that's why I decided to go through eBay with this one. Next. These boxes are not the easiest. I don't know why I'm doing everything with my left hand today. Right, again, let me just check for the invoice. Okay, that's gone. What have we got? Yoshi's Safari. It's in decent condition. The back looks like it's been swapped at some point. And then lastly, this bigger box here. Taking the invoice out. I think they went a bit overkill on the packaging. Wow. I mean, at least it's well packaged, right? And I can reuse the box. Oh dear me. Okay, Wario Land 2 on the Game Boy. Right, so now we're going to reset the camera up and I'm going to explain to you exactly why I've purchased all these loose carts. Okay guys, so don't worry, I haven't started collecting loose carts. I'm not selling my box collection or anything like that. I'm going to show you now exactly why I've purchased what you've just seen. You might have noticed over the last few vlogs, every now and again on camera, you'll see a few SNES games lying around. And that is because of, shout out to Big Kid Collectibles over on Instagram. It's a fantastic toy seller. I'll put a link to his Instagram page in the description below. He messaged me a few weeks back now about some Super Nintendo boxes that he had. And I purchased a few off him that I needed that were either upgrades or that I didn't already own. And I've been meaning to do something with them for weeks and I just never had the time to do it. Well, finally, I used some of my CEX vouchers to purchase what you've just seen me open. And here is the reason why. So I've been sitting on these nice empty Nintendo cardboard for quite some time. So the first one, of course, is Super James Pond. What I will be doing is putting up on screen now the sort of prices that these sell for boxed at CEX. Then Mario is Missing, which is like an educational children's game, I believe. Not the cheapest of games, but obviously I want all the Mario games for the Super Nintendo. Yoshi's Safari, which is a game that I did already own. But it was one that I never had boxed. It was one of, I never had the game. There's about 3 or 4, maybe 5, I can't remember exactly how many, of these boxes that don't have the game in. And this was one of them, so this has been on the list to get the cartridge for, and this needed an upgrade. Doesn't look too bad, but like around the sides, it's pretty chewed up. So when the opportunity came to buy a better condition one, I jumped on that. And this is the pick of the bunch. This one's really nice condition, this Wario Land box. And this one actually has a manual in as well. And another first party Nintendo game, Game & Watch Gallery for the Game Boy. So yeah, I mean, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4 first party Nintendo games there for Game Boy and Super Nintendo. And I spent a total of this in vouchers, and then obviously the small price I paid for that on eBay to complete these. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for all of this cardboard because that's between me and John over at Big Kid Collectibles. But let me tell you, it was a great deal. I actually ended up giving him more than he wanted because it was such a good deal. Because he knows I collect and he knows that I'm not reselling or anything like that. So yeah, it really hasn't cost me a lot to add, what, 5 pieces of Nintendo cardboard to the collection. As I say, 4 of which are first party Nintendo titles. So I'm delighted with that. No, they haven't got manuals except for this one. But for the price I paid, that's fine. I'm more than happy with that. And sometimes this is the way you've got to do it as a collector, right? You've got to piece it together in different ways to make it affordable for you. And I'm very, very happy to be adding this much Nintendo cardboard to my collection. And obviously we've also got these to put onto the shelves, so. Okay guys, I just wanted to quickly interject because I've been doing some sums off camera and CEX would give me £140 trade-in voucher for these as boxed items. Obviously they don't care for some reason if they've got manuals or not. And they would actually sell all of these games now for £207. So if I wanted to buy these, it cost me £207 or £217 posted. Yeah, not bad for £62, 18 vouchers spent and £8 cash. Yes, I think throughout this vlog we've done, what, 7 CEX lotteries. I've added a lot of 16-bit goodness and Nintendo cardboard to my collection, and anytime I can do that, I'm a very happy man. I'm just happy to end the week with a smile on my face, to be honest. As I touched upon, a very rough start to the week. It's the illest I've been for a long time, but that's behind me now. We're back up, back on my feet. And yeah, raring to go. I've got the hunger back again now for next week, which we're going to be out doing some more charity shop hunting. Let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed this vlog, if you're happy to just see me in here doing what I'm doing in my room, or if really you want to see me out there game hunting. But as always, thank you so much for watching. It is much appreciated in what has been quite a testing week, but as I say, it's ended quite spectacularly as far as I'm concerned. Spectacularly. As always, thank you for watching. Much appreciated. Play your games, keep it retro, and I'll see you all real soon. Take care.
You're watching the Retro Ghetto.
Ghetto.
Ghetto!
Yeah.